got ourselves a filter. We don't have to chew on it this morning. Yeah, we're chewing on it. Hey everyone. Right now we are in southern British Columbia near the small town of Chase, but we're up in the hills here. We're mostly here to harvest wildfire morels. Hey, I just spotted a morel right here. Look at that guy. A little natural. Small, but look at the gills, it's fully opened up. So we probably spread that spore there years ago because we camp here all the time. Since we're still drying some morels from yesterday in our dryer, and while those mushrooms are getting a little bit more dried, we're going to head down the road to our giant puffball patch. Everything in southern British Columbia is very early because there was a low snowpack this year. Everything is warmed up a lot faster. Have a nice breakfast, go puffball hunting, and then when that's done, we'll pack up the dryer into the truck and we'll go back to the burn. So hope you enjoy it. So here's our mushroom dryer. Lots of you have seen this before, but if you're a new viewer, this is a custom dehydrator that we've made. And basically it is designed to do 100 pounds of morels. Because morels are hollow and they're a sac fungi, they dry quite differently than other mushrooms. We have this ducting here that can attach to this. That usually hooks up to a wood stove room. However, you don't have to have the wood stove room to run this. The wood stove room just helps when you're dealing with ice fog and snow and heavy rain and lots of humidity because you can burn off the ambient moisture. Right now it's pretty dry out and the air comes up through the mushrooms and then blows out that way. And when we need to, we can add extra racks here to take advantage of the blowing end as well as the pulling end. It's compartmentalized. There's 3 compartments. You can totally run this whole setup by yourself and dry up to 100 pounds a day just inside of the unit. And then what I haven't shown is we have a custom DIY diesel heater. We're drying in here for maybe 3 hours last night and then the generator shut off. Nighttime air isn't as efficient as dry daytime air. So they're not dry, of course, but you know what? They shrank way down and the spore tubes look like they've sealed. So that's the important thing. We stop them from sporing and we can clean these. We'll fire this back up after coffee and let them run for another 4 hours, I think. Nice little breakfast.
Bushing it, eh?
So we've had the dryer running here for a little over an hour, and I want to show you how the mushrooms look just in that amount of time with the daytime air. Basically ready to flash. Let's go puffball hunting. You can see the burn we've been harvesting in the distance over there. So here's a little one. It's a little too old though. And you can tell because it has this yellow and it's squishy, so no good. See how it's gone brown inside? So look at them all. Big one, too old. 3 right there. Oh yeah. Okay, we'll take that one. And you see how it's white? Now it's just on the edge. If it was any further gone, I wouldn't take it. Too far? Everything is just so early. Oh, there. Might be 2 here that are good. No. No. That one's definitely too far. Wow, they're normally not like this until 2 weeks from now. The yellow there. Randy has been harvesting them here for about 22 years. Myself for about 10, off and on. We'll check these little hills here and then move on to morel picking. If you watched the previous episode, I mentioned that we plan to stay mobile for the start of the season until we find a good burn. Because nobody is staying to watch camp today, I have to pack up the dryer and all of our valuables into the truck or the locked trailer before heading out to go picking. Although theft is unlikely, it's a risk we can't take because the time to replace gear would just cost too much.
Ooh.
The 44,000 hectare wildfire that we're working on is one of the only burns with field buyers right now, so it's difficult to find ground that hasn't already been picked. We're going to start our day on this big hillside covered in soft burn before heading to a hidden area that I spotted with the drone in the last episode. We've come pretty high in elevation here. It's a big hillside. Oh, look at that beauty. Nice view from here. Very quiet up here. Normally low elevation starts first, but when you're in a big valley like we're in here, what can happen is the sun goes behind the hill and the lower part of the valley gets that sunlight cut off first. And so sometimes these tops get a little bit more sun because of that. Check a little higher and then loop back down to where Randy is down there because he's getting more than I am right now. One thing about this fire, there's basically no spruce trees. Burnt spruce is often really good morel picking. It's mostly birch, aspen, cedar, and fir. Cedar can be good, aspen can be good. I'm gonna check this little ravine here. Could be a water drainage. And if that's no good, I'm gonna head down the hill. Look at these. Wow. Bunch of babies there.
Yeah, there's a few here, guys. It's been really spotty so far. Getting mushrooms, but like one or two here. One here. One here. One here. There you go, beauties, eh? Well, just about back at the truck, and I found these. Check this out.
Okay, we're just coming down the mountain here, following this dried up stream. So over there's some nice strips of orange that meet the green. I really want to try to get over there, but I'm not sure how, because there's a big river between here and there. So we got to find a road that takes us there somehow, some way. Ooh. Oh, those are nice. Very nice. climbing through these blown down cedars. Okay, I'm almost back to the truck. Somebody else parked behind us. There's another commercial harvester right over there. And right here by the road, just about to hop out of the bush. This area is getting a little bit more sunlight. There's quite a few here. Some beauties too. Color on those. Nice. Okay, we're going to carry on up the hill. Alright, we're back on the main road. We just stopped and talked to some locals. They were very, very friendly, and we gave them some advice. They were very grateful for that because they weren't finding any mushrooms. So hopefully they do now. We are on our way back to where we picked at the end of the previous episode in that little orange patch that was surrounded by green. We're gonna go check that out, clean that up, and then maybe explore that road a little bit more. Okay, here's our mushrooms from that first pick. And they're just beautiful. That's the positive thing today. The quality is really good. And as you saw earlier, all this debris will come out of the mushrooms when we dry them. So if you watched the last episode, you saw me cut through this green for maybe 100 meters, and then I got into a nice little patch of burn. We're gonna go clean that up. I'm gonna bring both of my buckets just in case we hit a nice zone. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Really nice day too. So I had my life flash before me today. So I was walking along, we were picking mushrooms, and I said I should close my knife while I'm walking. So I took one more step and I slipped and I fell right towards my knife, and I managed to turn it sideways at the last second. My nose actually touched the knife, the side of the handle.
Sketchy. That slippery ash, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, bam, just like that. So
that's one of the reasons I started picking with these originally when I first tried them, because there's a safety on them. They're always closed. And then I found that they had all these other benefits. I got nothing against using a knife, but it was, the initial reason was because in the burns, when you're exhausted and it's slippery, walking on a steep hillside on slippery ash is not very safe with a blade in your hand all the time, an open blade. So anyways, yeah. I try to walk on the same path whenever I'm hiking in for a couple of reasons. One, to familiarize myself with it, and two, to avoid ground trampling, especially when carrying a packboard. Most of the patch of the burn here, it goes down this way and down that way. Green behind us mostly. And so I'm gonna stash my second bucket here, right where we first came up. Look at that beauty. I'm just working parallel to Randy along this edge of the burn. I've taken the edge where it meets the green, and he's just on the crest of the hill. Both good spots. And that way we can get a good perimeter sweep. Lots of little babies starting down in this wet zone, but it's too deep shade and they need a little bit longer. Beauty. Oh, not bad. Sweet. Ooh, look at those. I mean, does it get any nicer than that for black morels? It's going good. Finally some good picking today. Ground isn't too steep. And there's a decent amount of mushrooms. Oh, I see some big ones behind me.
This is what you watched me just pick. Look. Yes, sir. Canada, eh?
So all we did was the edge of the hill till about there, and then came up, and I'm at there on my bucket. So 2/3, and we're just gonna fill up this bucket right now and carry on with empty buckets from here to make it easy for ourselves. So I'm just gonna leave the extender like that so they can still breathe. The hillside here has been the best. I see some nice ones over there, actually. I should get those. Wow. So I don't know if you could tell, but a lot of what we walked through just now was the same ground I walked through last night. And those mushrooms have tripled in size. Full sun here, water in the ground. Happens fast when it's like that. Let's go fill it again. Fresh. Oh yeah. Right as I started coming down on the south exposure, I just spotted a whole bunch. I'll just show you, walk through it here. See them all? Speckled all the way down the hill. A couple more over there, nice ones. And then I go up through there. Right. See how far it goes. Oh yeah, it gets better. It's getting better. See them all? And they go right across the hill this way. Some of these need a bit of time, but this is the best we've seen yet this season so far. Oh man. It keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. And look at over there. The morel fever is kicking in. I can feel it.
Look at this.
It's beautiful. That's a lot of morels. I'll fill the extender on this hill. It looks good. Okay, Randy's gonna go start it over where the buckets are. We just came slightly down the hill. And I'm just gonna do a little running scout without stepping on them to get an idea of what's really here. Yeah, they're everywhere, like all through here. Huge ones over there, all the way up the hill. Oh, and it keeps going. Right? Dark, look at this. On a burn where so many vehicles and pickers to get into this, we couldn't ask for a better situation. As you can see, cedar morels and the cedar mulch are very nice. Oh, that was nice. There's Randy's bucket. There's Randy. Morels,
What's going on?
Oh. So with what time it is, we've decided that we will finish these buckets and then come back here tomorrow with the pack board and try to finish this spot off. It's not a huge area, but it's good volume and really great quality. So come back in with a few baskets on the pack board. And before we do that, there's a bit of a zone change right here. I just wanted to scout it. I mean, it looks good right here. Let's see if it keeps going. Hard to say. The needles have been good, and this is a little bit less needles, but the exposure is good. Yep. Oh man, that's great. See, look, baby on the stipe. Let that one grow. If you watched the last episode, I came in here and I found a little pond that's just over this rise. So all that water is seeping through the ground into the hillside we just picked. I said that to Randy before we came over here. I said, I think there might be a big southern slope below the pond, and it might be good with all the drainage. And sure enough, almost full here. I'm just going to fill this extender up and then go back to the truck.
Oh, babies everywhere.
Let's go dry some mushrooms. Oh yeah, I'm sore. It was a short day, but we worked hard. .68, 10.75, 8.7. Okay, let's load these into the dryer. Here we go. We got spore coming out.
Has no energy left.
Mushrooms are drying. We got batteries charging. We're just making a soup. What do you put in this?
It's gonna be couscous.
Oh, couscous. Is there lobster powder in there again?
Yeah.
Nice. And more pork chops because we got to use them up. I did bring a bunch of the dried wild harvested stuff we have on our shop, so we'll show you how we use some of those things at some point in a later episode. Anyways, that was a great day. 4 of the 5 baskets were picked between about 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. I think I'll also set my pack board up tonight just so that it's ready to go. Pork chops, couscous with broccoli and celery. When you get back from picking and you start to slow down, all the physical labor from the day sort of kicks in. It really is hard on the body, and so I gotta drink this coffee just to keep going because there's still work to be done. Okay everyone, the day is done. Sorry it's so dark right now. We're not in the Yukon, so it gets dark in BC this time of year. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider liking and subscribing. Drop a comment below what you liked about today's episode, what you want to see more of. And if you want to support the channel, then the best way to do that is to head over to our online store, which is in the description, and buy yourself some dried mushrooms or whatever else you want from on there. Hope you have a great day or a great evening, and we'll see you next time.